Hello, English learners, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and if you've been here before, you already know I talk a lot about real English, and occasionally about my cat who thinks she owns the studio. Whether you're sipping tea, stuck in traffic, or pretending to work while listening, no judgment, we're so glad you're joining us again today. We've got another fun, practical, and maybe even slightly ridiculous episode lined up, so let's dive in.
And I'm John. It's great to have you here for another fun and useful English lesson. Honestly, I still can't believe they keep letting me back on this show. Whether you're a beginner, an advanced learner, or just here because your English teacher made you, don't worry, we won't tell. We've got something for everyone today. We'll break down everyday phrases, sprinkle in a few jokes, and yes, probably go off topic at least once. So, grab your notebook or your snack, we don't judge, and let's make English a little less scary and a lot more fun.
Today's topic is all about money, debt, and recession. Wait, don't panic. I know it sounds serious, but don't worry, we're going to make everything super simple, clear, and yes, even fun. Because let's be honest, we all feel like economists when we look at our bank accounts and say, wow, that's not good. We'll talk about real-life vocabulary, everyday phrases you can actually use, and maybe even share a few stories about our own financial, let's say, oops moments. So stay with us. This isn't your boring textbook lesson. It's English you can laugh with, learn from, and maybe even relate to a little too much.
Yes, by the end of this episode, you'll know how to talk about money problems in everyday English. You know, the kind where you check your wallet and suddenly remember that budgeting is a thing. We'll teach you useful expressions like I'm broke, tight on cash, and everyone's favorite, do you take payment in hugs? But seriously, this is real English that native speakers use all the time, especially when the rent is due and the coffee shop raised prices again. So stick with us. You'll not only learn the vocabulary, but you'll also get some laughs and maybe even feel a little better about your own bank balance.
John, should we tell them our secret? You know, the real reason we chose this topic? Okay, fine. Between the two of us, we've made every money mistake in the book. I once bought 5 pairs of shoes during a sale and then realized I had rent due. And John, well, let's just say he thought minimum payments meant optional. So yes, we are very qualified to talk about this today. Not because we're experts, but because we've survived it. So don't worry, this is a no judgment zone. Just real English, real laughs, and maybe a few real regrets.
Of course, the secret is, drum roll please, we're broke too. Seriously, we don't have money. I mean, if knowledge paid the bills, we'd be billionaires. But sadly, my landlord doesn't accept fun facts about phrasal verbs. I looked at my bank account this morning and it said, try again later. Laugh. So if you're worried about money, trust us, you're not alone. We are right there with you, holding a cup of instant noodles and a dream. But hey, at least we can teach you how to talk about it in English, right?
Yes, we may be broke, but at least our vocabulary is rich. But seriously, today we're going to help you learn some really important money vocabulary and natural English phrases. You know, the kind of phrases native speakers actually use, like I'm flat broke, living paycheck to paycheck, or I need to rob a bank. Just kidding. We'll show you how to sound confident talking about money, even if your wallet is just holding expired coupons and old receipts. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to talk about money problems like a pro, or at least like someone who's been through a few financial adventures. So stick around. It's going to be useful, real, and honestly, kind of too relatable.
All right, let's start with our vocabulary preview. This is where we give you a sneak peek at the words and phrases we'll be using today, so listen carefully. Or at least pretend to. These expressions will help you talk about money like a native speaker, whether you've got a full wallet or just some pocket lint and a dream. So grab a pen, open your notes app, or just mentally promise yourself you'll remember everything. We'll go through each word slowly, explain what it means, and show you how to use it naturally. And yes, we'll also tell you which ones not to say during a job interview. Ready? Let's do this. Your English is about to get richer, even if your bank account isn't.
Our first word is recession. Now, don't worry, it sounds like something only economists talk about on TV while looking very serious. But actually, it's a word you'll hear in everyday English, especially when things aren't going so great with the economy. A recession is when a country's economy is doing badly, like really badly. People lose jobs, businesses close down, and suddenly everyone's Googling how to make dinner with just rice and ketchup. It's kind of like the economy goes on a long vacation without telling anyone. You might hear someone say, "Ever since the recession started, it's been hard to find work." Or, "During the last recession, my uncle started selling socks online." So yeah, it's a serious word, but understanding it helps you sound smart and stay informed, even if your own financial plan is just hope for the best. All right, here's an example using the word recession. During the recession, my uncle lost his job and his shop closed. Pretty sad, right? But don't worry, he's doing okay now. He started a YouTube channel about fixing toasters. That's the thing about a recession. It can really shake things up. One minute you're running a small business, the next minute you're Googling how to make money from home with zero skills.
You'll hear this word on the news a lot, but also in casual conversations. Like, "I'm not spending much right now. Hello, recession." So remember, a recession is tough, but at least we can laugh a little while learning how to talk about it in English.
All right, the next word is a classic, broke. Now, if you say, "I'm broke," it doesn't mean something is physically broken, like your phone or your coffee machine. Nope, it means you have no money. Nada, zilch. Just a wallet full of hopes and expired gift cards. It's one of the most common ways native speakers talk about not having money. You'll hear people say things like, "I can't go out tonight, I'm totally broke." Or, "I'd love to join you for lunch, but my bank account said no." Personally, I've said I'm broke so many times, I should get a loyalty card. And remember, this phrase is informal, so don't say it in a job interview unless you're trying not to get hired. But with friends? Totally normal. In fact, sometimes we even bond over being broke. It's like, "You too? High five." So next time you're low on cash, just say it. "I'm broke." Short, simple, and very real.
Here's an example using the word broke. "I spent all my money on pizza. I'm broke now." Yup, true story. I regret nothing, except maybe not saving a slice for breakfast. That's the beauty of this phrase. It's simple, real, and very common. You'll hear students say it, friends say it, and definitely anyone who just got paid and immediately bought concert tickets. Hahaha. You can use it in a light, funny way, like, "I'm broke because I ordered sushi 3 days in a row." Or in a more serious way, like, "I can't go on vacation this year. I'm totally broke." It's one of those phrases that's informal but super useful. And let's be honest, who hasn't been broke at some point? If you haven't, we're jealous. So remember, next time you look at your bank account and it makes you sigh, just say, "Welp, I'm broke."
Okay, now let's listen to our story. This is where things get interesting because we're going to use all the vocabulary we've just learned in a real, everyday situation. And don't worry, it's not some boring textbook dialogue with robots saying, "Hello, how are you? I am fine." Nope, this story is realistic, funny, and maybe just a little too relatable. you'll hear phrases like I'm broke, recession, and more, all used in a natural conversation, just like you'd hear between two friends who probably shouldn't be giving financial advice. So grab your headphones, get comfy, and listen carefully. Feel free to laugh, rewind, or say, wow, that's exactly my life. Here we go. Our story starts now.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Corleone.
Right this way, sir.
Charlie, what can I do for you, my boy?
I'm really sorry to trouble you, sir, but I need your help.
Anything for you, Charlie. Your father was like a brother to me. You came to me on the day of no holiday? What's going on?
Thank you, sir. It's just, this recession, it's crushed me. I lost my job last month, and now I'm drowning in debt.
Go on. I have credit card bills piling up, my car payments are overdue, the bank's calling me about the mortgage, and to top it all off, my son just got into college. He's the first in our family, but I can't even afford his tuition.
So, you're asking me for a loan?
Yes, sir. I know times are hard, but I thought maybe you could help me, just until I get back on my feet.
Charlie, what? At a time like this? You, sir? But you're Mr. Corleone.
This recession didn't care who I was. I lost half my money in the stock market crash. Half! I've got investments frozen, bleeding.
Wow, that was unexpected. He asked the mob for money, but even the mob is broke. Laughs. I mean, can you believe that? You go to the most powerful man in town expecting some secret stash of untouchable cash, and instead he hits you with, I'm broke too. That's wild. I didn't see that coming at all. You could feel Charlie's desperation. It was so raw, so real. And then Mr. Corleone, all calm and godfatherly, just drops the truth bomb, like even he couldn't escape the recession. That hit hard. It's kind of tragic, actually, but also ironic in the most brutal way. You think these mob guys are immune to the world's problems, but nope. Turns out the stock market doesn't care who you are. Even the Godfather has bad investments. And did you catch how Mr. Corleone tried to keep his pride intact? That half laugh, half rage moment? Half my money, gone. Ugh, powerful stuff. The whole thing just flips the power dynamic on its head. It's like, even the untouchables are touched when the world falls apart.
Ha ha ha, yes! I mean, come on. When even the mob has no money, you know the recession is really, really bad. That's not just a bad economy, that's apocalyptic. Think about it. These are the guys who usually own the system. Cash businesses, secret safes, offshore accounts, and now they're out here saying, sorry kid, I'm broke too. It's almost funny, like a dark comedy, but also kinda sad, right?
I mean, if they can't stay afloat, what chance does a regular guy like Charlie have?
It's scary in a way. When the last place you'd expect to crumble starts to crack, that's when you realize how deep the damage really goes. Still, I've got to admit, it was one hell of a twist. I did not see that coming. Mr. Corleone, of all people, blindsided by a recession? Man, this world's gone upside down.
Okay, let's break this down. Let's explain the important words from the story. I mean, there were some heavy terms thrown around in there, right? Like recession. That's a big one. It's not just an economic term. It's a word that carries real weight. It means people are losing jobs, families are struggling, futures are uncertain. You could feel that in Charlie's voice. He wasn't just saying it, he was living it. Then there's mortgage. That's the kind of word that makes adults flinch. When Charlie said the bank kept calling, I felt that. The pressure, the fear, it's all in that one word. And what about tuition? That was a hopeful word, buried in the pain. His son got into college. That's something to celebrate, the first in the family. That word carried so much pride, and yet it was also a reminder of what Charlie couldn't give. That part got me. And of course, the funniest word in the whole scene, broke. I mean, when Mr. Corleone said he was broke, that's a plot twist no one saw coming. It flipped the whole story upside down. So yeah, words matter. Every one of them held a little piece of the emotion: fear, pride, desperation, even a bit of comedy. That's the power of good storytelling.
First word is loan. A loan is money you borrow and agree to pay back later, usually with interest. Sounds simple until the bills start showing up. For example, I got a loan to buy a car. At first, it felt great. New car, smooth ride, windows down, music up. But a few months in, reality hits. Those monthly payments don't miss a beat. So yeah, a loan can help you out, sure, but it's not free money. It always comes back around.
Second word is mortgage. A mortgage is a loan you take to buy a house. It's usually a big one, and you pay it back over many, many years. Oh, and here's a fun tip. Remember, we say mortgage. Don't pronounce the T. It's one of those sneaky English words that look scary but sound smooth. But honestly, the word mortgage can be kind of stressful. It sounds like home and stability, but it also means long-term responsibility, monthly payments, and paperwork that never ends. So yeah, it's a big word, not just in spelling, but in life.
The third phrase is, hit me pretty hard. It means something had a strong, usually bad, emotional or physical effect. Like when something really shakes you up, emotionally, financially, mentally. It's not just a small problem, it hurts. Example, losing my job hit me pretty hard. Yeah, that one stings. You feel it in your chest, like a punch, but on the inside. It's the kind of phrase you use when you want to sound strong, but you're admitting that something got to you.
Last word, tuition. Tuition is the money you pay to study at a school or university. It's basically your ticket into the classroom, but it doesn't come cheap. Example, my college tuition is very expensive. Yeah, tell me about it. It's one of those words that sounds like opportunity, but also screams, pay up. In the story, when Charlie says he can't afford his son's tuition, that hit me. It wasn't just about money. It was about pride, about wanting the best for your child and not being able to give it. Tuition isn't just a bill. For a lot of families, it's a dream and a sacrifice.
Now, let's learn some natural English phrases. You know, the kind of stuff real people say in everyday conversations, not textbook talk, real life talk. Because let's be honest, no one walks around saying, "Greetings, I am experiencing economic hardship." Nope, they say things like, "I'm broke," or "This hit me hard." So get ready. These phrases are useful, natural, and they'll help you sound more like a native speaker and less like a robot. Let's jump in.
First phrase, what can I do for you? It means, how can I help you? It's polite, kind, and shows you're ready to assist someone. You'll hear it a lot in customer service or when someone really wants to help, like Mr. Corleone in the story. His tone was calm, respectful. Charlie, what can I do for you, my boy? Sounds almost comforting, doesn't it? It's one of those phrases that makes people feel heard and welcomed. So if you want to sound helpful and polite, this one's perfect.
Example, welcome to our store. What can I do for you? It's something you might hear the moment you walk into a shop. Friendly, polite, and helpful. It's not just about selling something. It's about making the other person feel taken care of. Whether it's a store, a hotel, or even just someone offering a hand, this phrase says, "I'm here for you." Nice, right? Simple words, big impact.
Second phrase is, I'm sorry to trouble you. It means sorry to bother you. It's a very polite way to ask someone for help, especially if you feel a little nervous or shy. In the story, Charlie said it to Mr. Corleone. "I'm really sorry to trouble you, sir." You could hear the hesitation in his voice. He didn't want to seem rude or demanding. It's a kind phrase. It shows respect. Like you're saying, "I know you're busy, but I really need your help." And honestly, sometimes that small bit of kindness in your words makes all the difference.
Example, "I'm sorry to trouble you, but can you help me move this chair?" See, it's polite, but also a little humble. You're asking for help, but you don't want to come off as demanding.
It's the kind of thing you might say to a stranger or someone you respect. Like, "Hey, I know it's a small thing, but I don't want to be a bother." It's simple, but it shows you care about the other person's time, and that's what makes it so nice.
Third phrase is, "on top of all that." It means besides everything else, like when you already have a bunch of problems and then one more thing gets added. You know those days when everything goes wrong, and then on top of all that, you spill coffee on your shirt? Yep, that's the phrase. In the story, Charlie said, "And on top of all that, my son just got into college." It was a proud moment, but also one more pressure, more joy, and more worry. So this phrase really helps you stack emotions and events when you're telling a story.
Example, "I lost my phone, I lost my keys, and on top of all that, it started raining." Sounds like the universe was just having fun with me that day. I mean, seriously, losing one thing is bad, two is worse, but then boom, rain. Like nature itself was saying, "Let's make this worse." That's why we say "on top of all that." It stacks the chaos. It's the final cherry on your disaster sundae. Perfect phrase for those "why me" kind of days.
Great examples. Now, let's talk about money and debt in different countries. It's funny, isn't it? In some places, people stress over paying off student loans their whole lives. And in others, well, they just don't bother paying them at all. But seriously, it's wild how money rules so much of our lives. Sometimes it brings joy, sometimes just a giant headache.
In the United States and Canada, using credit cards and loans is super common. I mean, it's almost like a way of life over there. You want a coffee? Put it on the card. You want a vacation you can't afford? Swipe it. Need a new phone? No worries, just finance it for the next 2 years. But behind all that convenience, there's a bit of stress, you know? People get trapped in this cycle of debt. One bill leads to another, and suddenly you're paying interest on something you bought 6 months ago and barely remember. Still, many folks accept it as normal. In some ways, it gives freedom and flexibility, but in others, it can feel like a golden cage. Funny how something meant to help you can quietly weigh you down.
Yes, that's the crazy part. People need a good credit history. I mean, if you don't borrow money, you can't buy a house or even a car in many cases. Isn't that strange? You have to prove you're good with money by going into debt. You're just starting life, and already there's this invisible number following you around everywhere, judging your every move. It's like the system says, "Oh, you've never borrowed anything? Sorry, we don't trust you. Come back when you've had a few loans and pay interest like a responsible citizen." But honestly, it's kinda stressful. You're expected to owe money just to show you can handle owing money. And if you miss one payment, boom, your score drops and suddenly you're a financial criminal or something. It's no wonder so many young people feel overwhelmed.
But in countries like Switzerland, oh, it's a whole different story. Over there, people actually try to avoid debt. I know, what a concept, right? It's almost like they see debt as something embarrassing, not normal, not cool, definitely not necessary. And credit cards? Yeah, good luck getting one if you don't already have money sitting in your bank account.
Imagine that. You need money first to get access to more money. What a wild idea. It's kind of refreshing though, isn't it? Instead of living paycheck to paycheck, swiping your way into stress, they focus on saving first, spending later. There's this deep sense of financial discipline. Like, if you can't afford it now, maybe you're not supposed to have it yet. It makes me wonder, are we the ones doing it backwards? Or have we just gotten way too comfortable with the idea that being in debt is completely normal?
So yeah, remember this. In North America, debt is basically normal. It's like a rite of passage. Everyone's juggling some kind of loan. Credit cards, student debt, car payments, mortgages, you name it. You almost feel left out if you don't owe someone something. But in Europe, especially in countries like Germany or France, people are way more cautious. They prefer to save up first and pay with actual cash, like real money. No swiping, no monthly minimums, no surprise interest charges creeping up behind you. Just, here's the money, thanks, goodbye. And honestly, there's something admirable about that. It's slower, yes, and maybe less flashy, but it feels more peaceful, less stressful. Imagine buying a car and not worrying about payments for the next 5 years. Sometimes I wonder if we've been trained to confuse freedom with access to credit. But real freedom might just be not owing anything at all.
All right, let's quickly review today's key words, because wow, we really went on a financial roller coaster, didn't we? First up, recession. That's when the economy kind of takes a nap, a very bad nap. People lose jobs, businesses slow down, and everyone starts saying things like, we need to cut back. Not fun. Next, broke. Ah, yes, the classic student lifestyle. No money, instant noodles for dinner, and checking your bank account feels like a horror movie. Broke is when you're out of money and sometimes out of hope too. Then we have loan, that magical thing that gives you money now but takes your soul later. Just kidding, sort of. A loan is borrowed money, usually from a bank, and yes, you do have to pay it back, eventually. Mortgage. This is basically a giant loan you take to buy a house. It sounds exciting until you realize it might take 30 years to pay off. Now let's not forget debt, the one that sneaks up on you. It starts small. One little payment here, another there, then suddenly you're wondering where all your money is going. Tuition, oh boy, this one hits hard. It's the price of going to school. And in some countries, it's so expensive, students graduate with a degree and a mountain of debt. Yay, education! Then there's that phrase, hit me pretty hard, like when you find out how much you owe and your stomach actually flips. Emotionally and financially, ouch. And finally, on top of all that, this is what you say when things are already bad and, surprise, they get worse. Like, I lost my job, and on top of all that, my car broke down. Classic adulting, right?
Let's go over some fluency phrases too. These are the little expressions that make you sound super natural in English. And believe me, they come with their own emotions. First up, what can I do for you? This one's polite and kind. You might hear it from someone who wants to help, like a receptionist, a waiter, or even a friend. It's got that cheerful, I'm here for you vibe. Then we have, I'm sorry to trouble you. Oh, this one is so polite. It's the kind of thing you say when you're about to ask someone for help, but you feel a little guilty about it. Like when you're interrupting someone who looks busy, I'm sorry to trouble you, but could you help me print this? It's humble, a little shy, and very respectful. And last but not least, on top of all that, this phrase is perfect for when everything is going wrong and then, bam, something else happens. Like, I lost my wallet, missed my train, and on top of all that, it started raining. It's like you're telling the universe, really? Was that necessary? These phrases aren't just words, they carry real feelings. They make your English sound alive, expressive, and full of personality.
All right, now it's your turn. Practice these words and try using them in your own conversations. Seriously, just sneak them in whenever you can. Don't be shy. Even if it feels a little weird at first, that's totally normal. We all sound a bit funny when we're learning something new. I still remember the first time I tried saying "on top of all that" in a sentence. I ended up using it completely wrong and made everyone laugh. But hey, that's how we learn, right? Try saying things like, "I'm sorry to trouble you" when you ask for help, or "What can I do for you" when someone looks confused. These little phrases make a huge difference in sounding more natural and confident in English. And don't worry if you mess up. That's part of the fun. Every time you try, you're getting better. So keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking, even if your voice shakes a little. You've got this.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. Seriously, we're so happy you spent this time with us. Every new word you learn, every phrase you practice, it's a step forward, and we're cheering for you every step of the way. Learning a new language isn't always easy. We get it. Some days it feels like your brain is doing gymnastics, and other days you might feel like giving up. But guess what? You showed up today. You listened, you learned, and that's something to celebrate. And hey, if you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to follow the English Learning Podcast. We've got plenty more fun, friendly, and practical lessons coming your way. Some are funny, some are deep, some might even make you say, "Whoa, I didn't know that." So stay curious, stay confident, and keep coming back. You're not just learning English, you're building a whole new way of expressing yourself.
And hey, don't be a stranger. Leave us a comment if you have any questions. Seriously, we love hearing from you. Whether it's a word you didn't quite get, a phrase you want us to explain again, or even just a hello from your country, we read every single message. And yes, sometimes your comments make us laugh, sometimes they make us think, and sometimes, honestly, they just make our day. So don't hold back.
Your questions help us grow too, and they make this podcast feel like a real conversation, not just us talking into a mic. Remember, this isn't just a lesson, it's a community, and you're part of it. So go ahead, type us a little note, even if it's just to say hi. We'll be waiting.
Okay, that's all for now. Time really flies when we're learning and having fun, doesn't it? I can't believe it's already time to say goodbye. But don't worry, we'll be back soon with more exciting lessons, helpful tips, and probably a few more laughs along the way. Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, you're doing amazing. We're so proud of you. See you next time. Bye! And hey, don't forget to bring your good mood and curiosity with you.
Bye everyone! Thanks again for hanging out with us today. It's always such a blast having you here. We hope you learned something new, had a few laughs, and maybe even felt a little more confident in your English. Alright, I must go before I start teaching another new word by accident. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye!
The website, da 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 da.